Please like and subscribe. Let's grow NAIA basketball. Thank you. Cascade Hoops Talk, bringing the world NAIA basketball one podcast at a time. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, it's Friday, December 1st. Couple upsets to talk about last night. Also, as you can see right here on the screen, we got Jamon Copeland, Ave Maria basketball with us today. You know, they just broke the top 25. They came in at 17. They fell to Florida National. He's going to talk about that game. And we're also just going to review what's going to happen this weekend. And then come Monday, we'll update you on all those scores. So if you're ready, let's get started. Grace College, number 1 in the nation, they're 8-0. They're going to take on Spring Arbor in Winona Lake on Saturday. Spring Arbor is a much improved team. I expect that to be a very good game. Number 2, College of Idaho, they begin Cascade Conference play. They're going to take on Southern Oregon and Ashland, and then go over to Klamath Falls and take on Oregon Tech. So 2 big games on the road to start the Cascade Conference season for College of Idaho. Number 3, Langston. Well, I said yesterday morning, yeah, they needed it. They needed a challenge, and they came out and, boy, they rubbed and polished Oklahoma City. They beat them 85-51. They won that. They led this thing wire to wire, no doubt, early on in this game. Right here, Anthony Roy, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Toru Dean, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Next up for the for them, they'll take on John Brown on Saturday. Number 4, Oklahoma Wesleyan, big game on Saturday right here. They're going to play Southwestern. The Jinx have been playing really good. The game is at Oklahoma Wesleyan, which will obviously give them an advantage. But make some time. That's a game that you're going to want to watch. Oklahoma Wesleyan's the real deal, and Southwestern Mound Builders appear to be so as well. Number 5, Arizona Christian, coming off that loss at Union. They don't play until Multnomah heads down there on the 7th. Arizona Christian is 6-1. Georgetown, talk about real deal. They're the real deal. Saturday they play Washington Adventist. Georgetown is 9-1. Number 7, LSU Shreveport. They took on LSU Alexandria tonight. Remember this morning? Remember I said that you just throw the records out the window with those two. LSU Shreveport has been down, but boy, this was a good game, 91-89. I apologize, I don't have the final stats. I think you all know there was a problem with Presto Sports last night. It was frustrating. Anyway, LSU Shreveport won that game 91-89. They go to 5-0. Montana Tech, they're going to play Concordia University of Edmonton tonight. And then I think this University of Montana, I think that is a exhibition game. But the real news with Montana Tech, Caleb Belich is coming back. That's out of a news station there in Butte. And it'll be really great to see him get back for Frontier Conference play, one of the best players in the country. It's not only good for Montana Tech, it's good for the Frontier Conference, and it's good for NAIA basketball. I mean, we want to see the best players on the court, and he's one of the best players in the country. Montana Tech 6-1, and everybody else in the Frontier is just shaking their head knowing Belich is coming back. At number 9, Indiana Wesleyan, they're 5-2. They're going to play Bethel in Lucky Arena on Saturday. I already said Bethel is big and strong. I expect that to be a good game as well. Another one to mark on your calendar. Wayland Baptist, upset. They got beat tonight 62-61 by Mid-America Christian. Congratulations to Mid-America Christian. A big win for them. Magog McGang, he led Mid-America Christian with 14 points and 8 rebounds. Wayland Baptist, they'll be back in action on Saturday against Southwestern Christian. Number 11, Southwestern, we mentioned they play Oklahoma Wesleyan right here. Oklahoma Wesleyan. They're 8-0. Oklahoma Wesleyan. They're going to play them on Saturday. I've been waiting for that game. Freed Hardman, they don't play until December 5th. They'll take on Fisk. Freed Hardman is 7-2. The first number 13, Northwestern, out of the GPAC, they'll take on Hastings on Saturday. And the second 13, Olivet Nazarene, they'll play Judson on Saturday. Number 15, Mobile, coming off that loss to William Carey. They're going to get challenged. They play Point. Point's very good. Mobile's going to have to bring it. They're 7-2. They really, to stay in that top 15 range, they got to win. They got to beat Point. So they'll play them on Saturday. Number 16, Morningside. On December 6th, they travel right here up to Jamestown. They need that many days to get there. It is a haul up to Jamestown. Number 17, Ave Maria. We mentioned they lost Florida National. They play Florida College tonight. Huge game for them. We were able to speak to Jamon Copeland. He's the head men's basketball coach of the Gyrenes, and let's take a listen. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I have Coach Jamon Copeland here. He's the head men's basketball coach at Ave Maria. They're the Gyrenes. Welcome, Coach. Appreciate you being on this today.
Yeah, Bill, thanks for having me. I'm excited about it.
So, as we record this, you guys had just made the top 25, and you fell last night at Florida National, but that's kind of a tough place to play, isn't it? Has Ave Maria ever won there?
We have not. Bucky Dent. It's a rec center. They don't have a gym, so it's a rec center, and it is a really hard place to play. But just scheduling in Florida, scheduling NAIA games, they're hard to find. So you kind of have to take what you get. In an ideal world, I wouldn't go there and play. But when you're surrounded by water on three sides, and you need to get as many NAIA games as you can, beggars can't be choosy. So you try to take what you can get. But yeah, we obviously, they played great. We didn't play well, and that's the way it goes sometimes. And we just got to pick ourselves up off the mat and learn from it and get better, and we'll do that at film and practice today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of, next play, right? Because you can't really dwell on that too long. Because guess what? You got Florida College coming in, and they're always tough. So
Chase does a great job, and we've actually got 5 games in 8 days. So I think part of it last night was a little bit of fatigue, and then we got to just rip the rearview mirror out and bounce right back because we have Florida College Friday, who's a dang good team, and then Saturday we have Lynn University, really good Division II program in the state as well. Yeah, so we got to forget about it and move on to Florida College.
So I know you had been at Florida College. You actually, Ave Maria, you actually started basketball there. Is that what I read?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I started the program. I was an assistant at Texas State University. Really just loving my job, loving being an assistant. Ave Maria is a Catholic university, and I'm Catholic as well. Mm-hmm. And I saw that they were starting athletics. I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to just throw my name in the hat. I was a young assistant. I was 27 years old at the time, and somehow, some way, fortunate enough to get it. And started the program in 2009, and then in 2013, my family is all in Texas, and my wife's family, her dad's in oil, so they were all in Oklahoma at the time. We have 5 children now. My wife was pregnant with our 3rd child, and we wanted to get closer to family, so I took the University of Texas at Tyler job. It was a Division III job at the time, and then transitioning to Division II. They're in the Lone Star Conference, and was there. And then, it's one of those things just fit wise. I love living in Southwest Florida, and I love the university, the mission, what it's about. And whenever I left for the University of Texas at Tyler, which is an incredible job, incredible place to live, East Texas, but I knew I just might have made a mistake. And if that job ever opens again, I'm going to go after it. So in 2020, it opened again, and I was fortunate enough to get it. And now hopefully I'll be here for a long time, God willing.
Oh, okay. So but you're a Texas guy, right? Originally.
I am. Yes, sir. Yeah. Texas guy. But man, living in Southwest Florida is not a bad place to live.
Yeah. Imagine you get a lot of good.
I'll take it. Yeah. I'll be the guy that has to bear that burden, and I'll take living in Southwest.
Oh,
Florida.
you'll take one for the team, huh, Coach?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to take one for the team.
So, this team is special. You've been rebuilding there. Ave Maria has had good teams in the past. It's not a program that hasn't had success, but this year you've been able to put together a good group. As we talked about just before we started, you've got you kind of 4 guys who really bring the mail for you. Why don't you talk a little bit about Nick Filchner? He's averaging almost 18 points a game. Him and Jonathan Efforts at 15 points a game. Talk about those 2 guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So before I kind of talk about those 2, this was a unique year. So we had, like you said, 4 21 seasons in a row, and then last year we're 12-3, and thought we were rolling, had a good team. Our Jonathan was one of the players that got hurt last year, season-ending injury, and then our other leading scorer, Matt, did, and we lost 8 straight. So last year was a tough year. We went 14-14, and really that second semester, it faced a lot of adversity. So coming into recruiting, we had a lot of seniors on that team, a lot of really good players, really good guys, but we only returned 3. We returned Jonathan Efforts, which I'm about to talk about, Mike Klekus, and Miles Monchicourt, and those 3, and that's all we had, with the seniors, and had a couple guys transfer. We had to go out and really bring in an entire new team. And part of it, we're an extremely high academic university. We're private, conservative Catholic university. So we have to recruit on institutional fit a lot of times, even more so than basketball fit, just because you're the pool you're fishing, though the pond you're fishing from is a lot smaller than a lot of universities, just because, the GPA, the test score piece, and then one to be in a Christian Catholic environment, that limits your pool, which is I think it's a positive in a lot of ways. You can't get involved with certain type of guys that other teams can. Like, we're never going to out athlete teams. But so anyways, going into this year, we thought, like, hey, we have to completely rebuild this thing. Like, we're starting from scratch, except for these 3 really good pieces that return. So we went, let's just go skill, let's get as skilled as we can and then just try to figure it out from there. So we did. We brought in Nick. He's a Division I transfer from Merrimack, an incredible student. He was a 3.7 guy at Merrimack, and then came in, and he's 6'8", and can dribble, pass, and shoot, moves really well. And yeah, he's in love with the game, and he's just been a joy to coach, and has had a heck of a year so far for us. And then Jonathan Efforts, one of those 3 returners I talked about. He's, to be honest with you, Bill, he's kind of our heart and soul. Like, he's just he's a 3.9 student.
Wow.
Like, he's our leader, our heart and soul. He's small, but he's extremely tough. And yeah, both those guys, like you said, have done a great job leading us so far.
2 other guys. You kind of mentioned Mike Klekus and then Jack Watkins as well. Now, Klekus was there last season, but Watkins is new to your program?
Yes, sir. So Mike is he is the brother of Eric Klekus, who was an honorable mention All-American for us, and had a great career at our place, and coaches kids. So, just gets it, tough, basketball junkie, loves it, high IQ. So yeah, we got Mike out of high school, and he was here last year during that big adversity year for us when we battled all those injuries and had that rough 8-game losing streak. And Mike's been really good for us. He can really rebound for his size. He's only about 6'3", but incredible rebounder. And we actually invert our offense a lot, and we post him a lot as well, because he's really good with his back to the basket. But he's another versatile, skilled guy that can dribble, pass, and shoot. But he's kind of the banger of our team. That's not really physicality. He's not a strength of kind of our roster, but Mike would be the one guy that can really throw his body around and does a great job with the physicality part. Well, then you asked about Jack Watkins as well. Right. Yeah, so he's new. Got him from Collin County College. It's a junior college coached by Jim Sagona, who does a great job there. And yeah, Jack can just really he's long. He's got great positional length. He's about 6'4", really long arms, and can really, really shoot it. He's kind of a combo guard, can play the point at times. And we call Jack, he's kind of our Swiss Army knife. He does, if you look at the stat sheet every game, he's been our leading scorer a few games, but most of the games he's probably your 3rd or 4th leading scorer, but he's gonna do a little bit of everything in the box score. He's gonna have 5-6 assists, 5-6 rebounds. He's gonna guard the opposing team's best perimeter player. So he's been really good for us as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of players like that around the country, and I call them matchup busters, because every team has somebody that's really hard to match up, and usually that guy can bust that matchup.
Yep, exactly.
You talk about your team being you didn't use the word, but you're a little bit undersized. If you go through your roster, you're loaded up with 6'3" to 6'6" guys, but you're out rebounding teams by almost 10 rebounds a game. You're holding teams to 41%, and you just won't let teams shoot the three at all. Talk about your philosophy. How do you achieve that being undersized?
Yeah, part of it is just mentality. I mean, the biggest part is just mentality, Bill. Like we're gonna send. Like we played extremely fast paced offensively, and we do that for a couple reasons. It fits our personnel. We're extremely skilled. We can shoot it at all positions, so we want to play ahead of the defense being set. But then also, like you talked about, our lack of size, potentially our lack of athleticism, especially for our league. Our league is an extremely athletic league, so
Yeah.
we're definitely not as athletic as everybody in our league. So we want to play fast. So teams are freaking out and getting back, and they're not sending as many to the offensive glass. So I think our pace has really helped us rebounding. And then because teams aren't sending as many to the offensive glass, because they're so worried about getting back, because we're averaging 98 a game. And our pace we play with, we get the ball up the floor. And I think the other part is mentality. Like I said, like we're going to try to send four to the glass offensively, and we're going to try to hit you as hard as we can on every shot. We're not perfect, and that's an area we still need to grow in. But yeah, we're going to compete and try really hard on that end as well. And as far as taking the three away, I mean, we're just playing the math game, analytics, like we're trying to take it away the best we can. And then sometimes you got to pick your poison, certain teams it's easier than others just based on personnel. And we're going to try to run them off the line. But certain teams, like if we're having to double a big guy, we're having to send another body at a dynamic penetrating guard, then that game, we're going to be in scramble a little bit, and we're going to do the best we can, but that team might get a little bit more threes off. But yeah, ideal world, they're shooting a contested mid-range jumper every possession, but unfortunately it doesn't work like that all the time.
Yeah, obvious. But if you can, right now you're holding teams to 41 from the field, 28 from three, and then you're out rebounding them by 10. If you can do that all season, you're going to win a ton. You're going to win a ton of games.
Yeah, no, that helps, and especially the way we can score it. Yeah, no doubt.
You touched just briefly on the Sun Conference. Like you said, it's really loaded this season. Southeastern's always good. Warner's always good. Obviously, St. Thomas has made some big improvements. Kaiser. Just talk about that conference and kind of your outlook for it this season.
Yeah, so it's always been really athletic and really good. Last year St. Thomas and Southeastern both in the Sweet 16, but I think this year just the depth of the league is like our overall record. I'm the rater for our conference.
Oh, okay,
I think when I sent that information in, I think we were. Don't quote me on this, but I mean it was somewhere like I think it was 74-17 when I added it up. That's our conference's overall record right now. Like we're really got a lot of good teams. You talked about St. Thomas. They're really good. Flomo man, I don't know if you've seen them play this year, but I was just at the show with them. They are a matchup nightmare. They're big, strong, athletic, and they just send the house every time they shoot it. They're sending the entire team to the glass, and they're just daring you like, hey, can you de-rebound against us? Because we're going to send the house. And they're undefeated right now. They've got a big game versus the Masters tonight.
Big
Weber,
game, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Weber International is better than they've ever been. Gabe's done a great job there. They've got three dynamic guards, returning All-American, and two, a Division I transfer that averaged 10 a game as a freshman at UT Martin, and then a Division II double-figure scorer. So they've got three dynamic guards that make them go. St. Thomas, we talked about they're always good. Southeastern's always good. Warner, Coastal's got a great team this year. So, yeah, I think – and then Kaiser, shoot.
Yeah,
Kaiser's big and athletic and strong, and they're top of the country in offensive rebounding every year. So, like most leagues, there's not an easy league in the country, but there are definitely no nights off. And you got to play your A game, and if you play a B game, you're not going to win. It's just not going to happen. And right now we got 4 teams either ranked in the top 25 or receiving votes, and we only have 8 teams in our league. So half the teams in our league are ranked or receiving votes, which tells you the quality and how good our league is.
So are the students, the local fans, are they starting to get excited about the Gyrenes yet?
Man, we've got incredible fans, Bill. They're always excited about the Gyrenes.
All right.
Like even last year, we were on our 8-game losing streak with those injuries. Like your students are waiting outside to get in our games.
Oh, I love it.
and they only let a certain amount in, capacity. And like when it's full, the students stay. Like our last home game we had a couple weeks ago, I go in at halftime, and there's still students waiting to get in the game at halftime because they can't get in because of fire code until one student leaves. So yeah, they're always excited. It's a fun place to play.
Oh, that's great to hear. I love to hear that. There is nothing more exciting than being in a small NAI gym. I don't know what you guys hold, but there's some that hold like 3, 4, 500. And then you get those things packed up. Oh, man, that loud and exciting. It's got to be an amazing
Oh yeah, it's the
atmosphere.
best. Yeah, when I took the UT Tyler job, we
Yeah.
had a beautiful facility, 3,500, arena, sat 3,500, and we would get we would get good crowds, 1,000, 1,500, but it felt like there were crickets. And you said it best, when you get a small NAI gym and they put 400 in there, it feels like it's Cameron Indoor Stadium, and I would much rather have a small gym than a big arena any day of the week just because of the atmosphere.
Coach, there's some of them that are these old wooden buildings, and they're, I don't know, the acoustics or whatever. There's a few of them I've been in that, I mean, 200 people. It's deafening in there.
That's
It's
incredible.
Yeah. It's anyway. I enjoy those atmospheres. The cool thing about it, even just around the Northwest where I live, there's from the big gyms at College Idaho and Oregon Tech to the small gyms at Northwest, Warner Pacific, and everything in between. So you see a little bit of everything.
Yep, you got it.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to be with us this morning. I want to tell Gyrene fans, do not despair. Last night's last night's loss was a loss, and the team will move forward. It's a very good team, and that's a tough place to win over there. So I wouldn't get in despair over that loss.
All right. We appreciate you, Bill.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and good luck to the Gyrenes moving forward.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we got a tough one Friday we're looking forward to. So we're looking forward to the challenge. We'll see you.
That's Jamie Copeland. He's the head men's basketball coach, Ave Maria. Thank you. Hey, thanks a lot, Coach Jamon Copeland, head men's basketball coach at Ave Maria, the Gyrenes. So here's your NAIA mascot history lesson. So a Gyrene, back in World War I, World War II, the pejorative for the Marines, all military men were called GIs, which is government issue, and they called the Marines Gyrenes. But the Marines kind of hung on to it, and they wore it as a badge of honor, and that word kind of signifies the toughness of the Marines, which everybody is familiar with, and that's why Ave Maria uses that. So that's your NAI mascot history lesson for the day. Thank you again to Ave Maria. And that game tonight with Florida College is very important for both teams. It should be a great game. The Masters, they go down. Coach just talked about this. They go down to Florida Memorial, and they beat them 95-86. The Masters goes to 6-1. A big win for the Masters. Ty Harper, he scored 19 points right here, 6 rebounds. Jordan Caruso, 22 points, 7 rebounds. Also, Coach talked about how the Florida Memorial will just crash the boards. Well, they beat the Masters pretty well on the boards. They beat them 47-35. But the Masters, they just shot the leather off the ball from three, 47%. And the Masters comes away victorious, and they're 6-1. And tonight they play Kaiser. Boy, if the Masters could come away from Kaiser and Florida Memorial with 2 wins, that would be an amazing weekend. Cumberlands, they play again on December 9th against Rio Grande. Lords, they play Saturday at Northwestern Ohio. They're 7-0. Number 21, Rocky Mountain. Rocky Mountain, they won an exhibition tonight, and I don't know if I can find it, but they beat D1, was it Montana State? Big win, though. It's an exhibition. But my understanding is this Montana team had just beat USC. I'm going to mess it up. But it's a big exhibition win for Rocky Mountain last night. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. Hang on. So Rocky Mountain defeated, I'm reading from their Twitter, for the first time in 100 years, Rocky Mountain takes down NC2A Division I Montana State. They beat them 70-62. Cale Robinson had 18 points. Maxim Stevens had 16 points, and Elliot Brooks had 12 points. Man, you love to see that. They'll be back in NAI. I think they have one more exhibition, but they'll be back in NAI action on December 15th. Xavier, oh man, this was crazy. Xavier won tonight, but I think with they were down 5 or something with 1:46 left. They were able to come back. Corey Wells, he hit a 3-pointer down the stretch. That's the one that put them ahead for the win. They got that win at Southwest, but they were in big trouble. But they were able to pull a win out of the jaws of defeat tonight, and they go to 5-1, and they're going to play Paul Quinn on Saturday. Number 23, Columbia, they go down as well. Central Baptist beat them 90-80. Let's take a little bit closer look at that game. So Columbia Baptist beat them 80-70. Trendon Tisdale and Carson Parker, they both had 14 for the Mustangs. Big win for Central Baptist. Columbia will be back in action on Saturday against Williams Baptist, and they now are 6-2. Number 24, St. Thomas, they play against Florida National on December 9th. And we already talked about Florida Memorial. They lost to Masters. Hey, I really appreciate everybody who listens. If you're a coach or an SID and you want to be on the show, they're about 10 to 15 minute interviews. Usually do them in the morning here on the West Coast, anywhere from 7:30 to 10:30, 11 or something like that, West Coast time. If you're interested, coming on, talking about your program, we have a space almost every day. I think I do 4 or 5 a week. I'd like to give fans around the country a chance to hear as many programs as we can. Also, fans, get out and support your team, because I don't know if you know this, but NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America, and you have to get out there and support your team. We'll be here on Monday, and we're going to talk about what happened with all these games we talked about today. A lot of big basketball. Get out there and support your team. This is Billy D. Thanks. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.